All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from PTCGO. So today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 16 deck lists from the Chill Series number 18 tournament, which wrapped up this past Wednesday. I think we had just under 200 players. It was a great turnout. I just want to thank everybody for playing. So, yeah, it was definitely phenomenal. It was a nice community-sponsored event. Shout out to Outcast for giving 100 packs to the prize pool. Our total prize pool was 200 packs. It was 100% free entry, so it was a really great tournament. Everyone's busy playing their Players' Cup qualifier matches, but, I was just thankful that some people spent the time to come out and play in the Chill Series this week. We're going to take a look at at our top 16 decks here at the standings, so here they are. But if you're watching this, this might be a pretty good indication of what you could be playing in the Players' Cup. Give you some good idea for lists that, you might want to refine and test before you go into the Players' Cup run. Hopefully this video helps out a little bit while also, giving an appropriate shout out to all the people who made top 16 in the tournament. So let's get right into it. First up at number 16, we have Mark with a CK261. From Brazil, he went 9-4, and he was playing Eternatus. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Eternatuses here in top 16, so very crazy. We're not going to take too much time to look at each of these Etern lists, but, okay, yeah. So this is, I think this is actually extremely similar to the list that ended up winning the tournament. This seems to be a very, a very common Etern list these days. A lot of people are just realizing that Hammers is very good, especially in the mirror matchup against ADP. Of course, ADP is not banned in Chill Series, so, Etern Hammers is just an extraordinary good deck. Plus, a lot of consistency here. It's one of the two-column decks, which is always fun to see. But yeah, you got a 4-4-4 lineup. Eterns and Crobat. 4 Spiritomb as well. It's probably your best single prize attacker in here. Maybe we'd like to see a Hoopa. 2 Goons to get that extra, ping there on an ADP or whatnot to get the KO. And then 2 Yveltals. Derail can be very good, but also free retreat for that pivot. Extremely good. 4 Boss, 4 Research, 3 Marnie. I think that's also appropriate. And then we have 4 Hammers, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Great Ball. Only 2 Pokecom, so a lot of times Etern is running 4, 4, and 3 with the Pokemon Search lineup, but 4 Switch I think is also very good. And then 4 Hammers with 2 Dangerous Drills. So I think Dangerous Drill isn't extremely necessary in a lot of decks. It seems like most people aren't really running Special Energies in Eternatus anymore. It doesn't really matter too much in Pigrom for the most part, and nobody's running Aurora in ADP. So I don't know if Dangerous Drill is extremely necessary. It can be very good in that mirror matchup, but now these days I don't think many people are running Special Energies in Eternatus VMAX, and if they do, it's probably only a couple. So plenty of energy denial here, and then only 9 energies, so I would like to see 10 energies in Etern. That's kind of like the standard. But overall, it's a very cool deck. It's a very consistent deck. If I were to play this, I might switch like 1 or 2 cards around, maybe play an extra energy. But, shout out to Mark. I mean, he made top 16 with this list, and it's definitely a very good Etern list. I think we're going to see a lot more Eterns along that same line. Next up, we have BGV 1989 from Canada. He went 9-4, and he's playing the big Coleman, bro. The colossal Stones, bro. The Stones guy. Okay. And this is, I think, a pretty standard Colossal list as well. It's been pretty well refined recently, and a lot of people have kind of taken Colossal under its wing. It saw a little bit of hype there when it came out for a couple weeks, kind of dropped back down, and then some people... I think Zach Lesage and sort of his testing group did pretty well with the Colossal for a week or two, and then it kind of had a little bit of a resurgence here, and I think this is along the lines of what their list kind of looked like. 2 Air Balloons is a little bit strange in here. We don't see any buff padding, which is a bit weird. That's one thing that's questionable. It stands out to me. Running 12 energies, I think that's good. We got a 3-3 lineup of Colossal, 2 Guru, 2 Dedenne, 1 Crobat. Surfetch can be very clutch as well. And then Mimikyu, which I actually like Mimikyu as well, really kind of solidifies that Pigrom matchup these days, which, you definitely don't want to be losing. 4 Research, 4 Marnie, and then only 2 Boss. I don't know if you really need too many Boss in Colossal. I think 2 might be fine. I guess you could kind of argue that 3 would be better, but again, I don't really play a lot of Colossal, so, I'm sure 2 is just fine. 4 Quick Ball. 3 Pokecom, that's our Pokemon Search. We have 4 Rotom Phone. Rotom Phone is extremely good with Colossal. You don't always want to rely on that Oran Guru. But at the same time, like with Rotom Phone, even if you have an energy in hand, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find an energy, put that at the top of your deck, and then switch an energy with one in your hand. And then just kind of make sure that, when you Oran Guru, not only are you, discarding that energy and putting it onto Colossal after you use that first attack, but you're still going to have one in hand as well. It can also be good with Oranguru to help find boss and then put an energy on the top of your deck. It's just an extraordinarily good card, not only with Oranguru, but in Colossal, just the combos, it makes the deck very consistent. And then 4 Crushing Hammers, people are running Hammers in Colossal as well, and I think that's smart. This is kind of a slower paced deck. It kind of is a slow build here, a little bit of a tanky deck, and I think that Crushing Hammers is just good in most decks, especially in Colossal here. 4 Switch, of course, that makes sense. Colossal, you're not really retreating out most of the time. I guess you can because you have 2 Air Balloon in this deck. I don't know, it's a bit weird, but yeah, 4 Switch for sure. Then we have 2 Great Catcher. Great Catcher, yeah, I don't know. Are people running 2 Great Catcher in Colossal? It seems a little bit strange. I guess it does really help with that Pigron matchup. Yeah. So two boss, two Great Catcher. The Air Balloon are very strange. 2 Air Balloon. I know a lot of people are running buff padding, brings Colossal up to 380 HP, which is just crazy. But Air Balloon, I guess it does give you that pivot between, if you start with Oranguru, Dedenne, Crobat, Sirfetch'd, Mimikyu, those, all get free retreat with Air Balloon. But I don't know if that's makes it more worth than playing buff padding. But who knows? And then our only stadium here is Wondrous Labyrinth. I know some people play Dojo. I don't know if that's entirely necessary. But Wondrous Labyrinth seems to be very good. Colossal, a lot of times it likes to just go ahead and use that first attack over and over. And after you use that first attack, you're going to have 2 energies onto it most likely. So Wondrous Labyrinth works well. Kind of forces your opponent, a lot of times if it's like Zacian or Pika, they need to get 4 energies on to use their attacks, which can be very, very good. So I like Wondrous Labyrinth as well. I think it's super clutch in this matchup. And then we have 6 Fighting Energies. 4 Stone, 2 Capture. I think that's a very appropriate energy lineup here. You want plenty of energies with Colossal because you want to consistently get them on the top of your deck and in your hand. So I think that this deck has it all. I think it's very good. I don't personally play a lot of Colossal, but it's definitely very, very interesting. And spoiler alert, it actually did make our top 10 list for February for best decks. And that's a bit of a spoiler, but you'll see in a few days when I release that video. But big shout out to BGV 1989 playing Colossal. He's our only Colossal here in top 16. Next up, we're going to take a look at ADP, AdamDenk here from, the Czech Republic. He went 9-4 as well. We have 3 ADPs in this top 16, so we're not going to spend too much time on these. I've talked about ADP probably a million times on the channel. But if there's anything super different here, then we'll point it out. Okay. So this is Clay DP, actually, which is kind of funny. You don't see Clay DP very often. We got 4 Clay in there. No Marnie, no Research. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's no hammers here either, so we're running Pokemon Catcher, Clay DP. We have 4 E-Switch, 4 Saucer, 4 Spinner, 3 Cherish Ball, 3 Switch, Tool Scrapper, Great Catcher, Ordinary Rod, Vitality Band, Big Charm, Air Balloon. This deck is absolutely hilarious. I love this. And we have an Aegislash in there as well. So this is just amazing to me. If you're playing ADP these days, I feel like you might as well just play something a little bit different. The 7 Metal Energies and the 2 Water kind of sketch me out a little bit, especially since we're running 4 Clay. But you know what? It is what it is. I think with 4 Energy Spinner, you just gotta hope that you don't get hammered twice or whatever. But this deck is absolutely hilarious. I like Aegislash. I don't know if Decigoons has been super popular right now in the format, but this is a little bit of a meme deck. I mean, he did very well with it, but like as far as ADP goes, this is probably the most meme-ish ADP deck I think that you could possibly play these days. I think the only thing this thing's missing is like a Milotic V or some crazy stuff. This deck is hilarious. I love it. I mean, no disrespect. This is super funny. Congratulations, bro, for making top 16 with this deck. But I don't know. This is very funny. This is like Players Cup 2 qualifier days. Clay DP is just hilarious. I love this deck. I don't even know what to say about this. AdamDenk, bro, you're an absolute madman. You're an absolute madman for running Clay DP catchers. Unreal. Okay, next up we have TomHellcamp from the US, 9-4, also playing ADP. Let's see if he's also playing Clay DP catchers. He's not, but he is running Aegislash in his deck, which is even more interesting to note. He's not running catchers or hammer, which is, that's cool. We have got 4 boss, 4 research, 2 Marnies. So that's his supporter lineup here. We do have 1 great catcher as well, 2 big charm, 1 air balloon. With Tool Scrapper, he's got a reset stamp in here, 2 Viridians. Man, people are just going absolutely buck wild here with ADP these days, and I kind of love it. I don't know if Aegislash is like the new meta call here in these tournaments. I guess Decigoons is like a big threat these days. It doesn't seem to be that crazy, but I guess in prior weeks it's been pretty relevant, Decigoons, so I guess that makes some sense. 2 Spinner, 3 Switch, Energy Switch, 4 Switch, 2 Cherish Balls, 4 Saucer, 4 Quick Ball, 1 Tool Scrapper. Okay, I mean, for the most part, it's much more standardized than the last ADP list that we saw. I think that Viridians is very good. However, like Chaotic Swell does have its merits, but I suppose with a deck list like this, you just are going for consistency. Swell is obviously really good against Welder decks, but for the most part, I guess that Viridians does benefit ADP more than other decks, or other stadiums do, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I actually like this list a lot. I think that Hammers, of course, is very good, but in a list like ADP, like it's all about consistency and constantly getting that early game GX attack off, and Hammers aren't really helping you for that, right? They're more of a disruption tool. So I think that a list like this is probably as consistent as an ADP list could possibly get, and I don't think that's I don't think that's a bad strategy at all when you're playing ADP. So big shout out to who's this guy, TomHellcamp. Oh, my bad. Okay, here. We'll go back. I accidentally deleted the thing. My bad. Okay. TomHellcamp, bro. Shout out to you. 13th in the tournament with ADP. That's a max consistency ADP list. At least that's how it looks like. Okay. Sorry about that. My wife's texting me. Okay. Now on to number 12. We have Angel22 Aranabar, and he is from, what is this, Peru? Yeah, from Peru. 9-4. He was playing E-Turn, so our second E-Turn of the tournament. Let's see what his E-Turn list looks like. So this is almost exactly like the last E-Turn list that we saw. There's a few things that are different. He's running 3 Boss. He's running 3 Spiritomb instead of 4. Only 1 Yveltal, only 1 Dangerous Drill, and he is running 10 Energies. So I think that personally, I like this list a bit more than the last that we saw. I don't know if 2 Dangerous Drill is extremely needed. I don't know if 4 Zigzagoon is extremely needed either, but I think that the 10 Energies and 1 less Dangerous Drill is overall just a better list right now for the game. I think the 1 Dangerous Drill can be clutch, but it's kind of one of those things where you're only running 1, so it's like, is it really still worth it to run it? And like I said, not many people are running Special Energy, so that might not be necessary, but 4 Hammers, definitely good. 10 Energies, definitely good. I think a 4th Boss is also really clutch in E-Turn, if you can fit it in there, but, it is what it is. Very consistent E-Turn list. Very similar to the last one that we saw. It's always funny when, like, you just see 2-column decks. Like, we just saw an ADP that had 4 columns. This one's only got 2, so it's absolutely hilarious, but yeah, I mean, either way, very similar to the last one. Shout out to Angel Aranabar. I think I prefer that list. I mean, it's not about what I prefer at all, but if I were to play E-Turn, I would probably, right now, Angel Aranabar's E-Turn list is probably my favorite. Take with that what you will. I'm sure that info is not very important. Next up, we have RicardoToddy, the RicardoToddy from Brazil, went 9-4, our 3rd E-Turn of the tournament. So let's see what his E-Turn list looks like. Are we going past 2 columns? We do. Okay, more than 2 columns. So I guess here, he's running the 2 power plants, and he is running 3 special energies, so I guess like the Dangerous Drills would be relevant in this matchup playing against this deck. 4 Boss, I like 4 Boss, 4 Hammers for sure. Now, instead of Spiritomb in here, he has 1 Hoopa with 4 Zigzagoon and 1 Yveltal. Hoopa is very good, but I think overall Spiritomb is overall a better single prize attacker, but Hoopa is very good just because, you can go for that 90 damage, just like you could play it down, put an energy and switch into it and just immediately do that 90 damage, which is an advantage, but Spiritomb overall, like, it's a slower paced card, but it can do more damage for 1 energy, which I think overall is a bit more important. So I would like to see some Spiritombs in people's E-Turn lists, but I don't think Hoopa is bad at all. The special energies are really good in E-Turn, but right now, and as we've seen all the people running Dangerous Drill, it just, it's a little bit sketchy. But of course, I mean, this is our highest ranking E-Turn yet, so maybe the Dangerous Drills just really aren't that important. And maybe Power Plant also came in clutch a lot in this deck. I know a lot of people like in ADP, a lot of people, and in Pikarom and other decks too, people kind of rely on Dedenne, and E-Turn doesn't, so Power Plant is pretty good. I'm not saying Power Plant's a bad stadium, but overall, I don't know if it's like extremely needed in E-Turn. It does help with some matchups, but for the most part, other decks are running swell, like ADP and Pikarom for the most part, right? So I don't know if Power Plant's necessarily going to be doing much, especially since you're only running 2, but you never know. It could be super clutch, and I guess with this deck, with Hammers and stuff, it's all about disruption, and Power Plant can be very good. He is running only 9 energies, so keep that in mind, and 3 of them are special energies. And he's running Weakness Guard, actually. So that's actually pretty important. I mean, I guess Colossal is becoming more and more relevant. Weakness Guard energy might just be, it might be it might be clutch right now. I don't know if it's sort of a weird sort of meta call, or just to sort of really make sure that you don't get bodied by Colossal. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be running Weakness Guard in Eternatus when Urshifu comes out in battle styles, but for right now, I don't know if it's entirely necessary. It is cool to see one Weakness Guard in here, but I wonder if that actually helped them out too much in the tournament. But anyway, big shout out to RicardoToddy. I like your E-turn list, and I wonder if Dangerous Drill really bothered you at all. Next up, we have AugustoBerenger. Berenger. I don't know. He's from Brazil. Went 9-4. All these dudes are 9-4 so far. He's playing Blounds, so this is our only Blounds deck, Blacephalon from Unbroken Bonds in top 16. Okay, so it's actually Crycephalon. And this is kind of confusing because a lot of people like you either call it Tempozard, Crycephalon. It's just a Welder box deck. It's literally just a bunch of different cards, and it's based around Welder. It's categorized as a Blounds list, but you see here he's only running 2 Blounds, and there's a lot of other cards in this deck. You have two Cramorants, you got 2 Reshizard. You have the Zigzagoon, Mewtwo, Oranguru, Marshadow, Crobat Dedenne, like Jirachi Engine. Like, it's just a very wide variety deck. And you've seen sort of Thomas Brophy's Centiskorch list do something similar to this, except for with the Cramorant, Blacephalon, and Reshizard, he focuses on Centiskorch as an attacker, which is totally fine, but the decks are extremely similar in their own right. This guy is running 4 Fire Crystals and 13 Energies, so I suppose he definitely could have a focus on Blacephalon here. I think that does make sense. 1 Boss is a little bit funny for Welder, Jirachi Engine. I don't know, this is kind of what a Crycephalon Tempozard deck looks like these days, and I don't know necessarily if this is the best way to play Welder decks. I don't know if just focusing on Blounds is better. That's sort of a debate that people are going around right now. But I think that this sort of a list, this Welder box list, is very good because you do have a lot of options, and it's kind of made a comeback and sort of, has increased a lot in play and seen a lot of success recently. I like Blacephalon. I think Blacephalon's always been a really good deck. I think that Reshi is a really good card, and Cramorant kind of caps it off as having that ability to snipe the bench. So I like this list. It obviously performed well here for my man Augusto. So maybe it's definitely a list that you should be playing. I don't have too much Welder card experience. I don't typically play a lot of Welder decks, but I think that this list can kind of do it all. Yeah, I like it. I wish that there was a different category for this type of deck. It's categorized on Limitless as Blacephalon because, of course, it is technically like a Blacephalon deck, but it doesn't have as much of a focus around Blacephalon as other decks do, which run just a four lineup of Blacephalon and maybe 1 Reshizard and 1 Cramorant, right? I don't know. Comment below. What do you think better? Do you think it's better to focus on running Blacephalon, having a 4 lineup of Blacephalon, or is it cool to have a 2-2-2 split between Cramorant, Blacephalon, and Reshizard? What do you guys think? Do you think it's better? Let me know. I don't have too much to say here, but of course, it's a very well-rounded Welder deck, and I always just call these Welder box decks. But huge shout out to Augusto, bro. Limitless, please update this thing right here so we can have an actual sort of classification for that deck that we just looked at. Okay, next up we have Vexora. Vexora, my man, he got 9th in the tournament from Indonesia, had a really good run, and he was playing Luke Metal, went 9-3. So let's take a look. He was our highest placing Luke Metal in the tournament, our only Luke Metal within the top 22, right, or top 16, whatever. The next one was 23. So had a really good run with Luke Metal. It's very interesting. Let's take a look. So big shout out to Vexora. Okay, yeah, so pretty standard Luke Metal these days, I think, except he is running Aegislash, which personally I like Aegislash. We see 2 Malalana, Cynthia Caitlyn, and a Guzma Hala. I like Guzma Hala in Luke Metal as well. The Tag Call engine is just very good. Maybe if this were me, I would have run another Tag Call, but, that's just me. I think Power Plant's actually pretty smart, too, in Luke Metal. We saw it in E-Turn because it's not running any GX Pokemon with abilities, so why not run Power Plant? You're running, you're kind of running a tanky, more disruption build, so, why not do that? I think that's actually very smart. So shout out to Vexora for doing that. We see 3 Goggles. I like 3 Goggles. 2 Stealthy Hoods, so 5 tool cards. Stealthy Hood does come in clutch a lot in this matchup between Poison, Zigzagoons, Giratina, whatever it might be. It really does help with that Welder matchup and, with the with the Centiskorch matchup or anything running Giratina, any fire deck running Giratina. So Stealthy Hood, super, super clutch. He's got the 10 medals for coding. I also like that as well. 4 Marnie, 3 Research, 3 Boss, 4 Saucer, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Pokédolls, and Tool Scrapper as well. I think Tool Scrapper is very good. And the Pokemon lineup here is very good as well. A lot of people are playing Aegislash, so a lot of people are teching for Decigoons. I don't know if that's necessarily like warranted or really needed too much, but again, you might as well play it safe, and Vexora did very well in this tournament while also putting this card in here, that one card for that one matchup, so maybe it is worth doing, who knows. But anyway, yeah, this is our highest placing Luke Metal in the tournament. So if you're looking to play Luke Metal these days, it's actually, in my opinion, a very good deck to play for the Limitless Qualifier tournaments. Excuse me. So, maybe you go with a Luke Metal like this. I definitely like it a lot. You know what I mean? It seems to do very well. Big shout out to Vexora, bro. Congratulations on getting, 9th in the tournament, man. Just outside top 8, but, fantastic run. Next up, we have Pasqua. For Pasqua, he got 8th in the tournament, so now we're moving on to top 8. He's from Brazil, went 10-4-0, and he's playing ADP Zacian. This is our highest placing ADP of the tournament, and let's see what this ADP list looks like. Okay, so this is similar to that last ADP list that we saw. It's like max consistency ADP, except now we have one Skyla thrown in here and only one Viridians, but everything else seems pretty similar. I like Big Charm, I like Air Balloon, and I don't know if... I think, Vitality Bend can be good, especially like you're running Skyla and stuff, so you have ways to search it out. It's good against that Mewtwo and Pikarom, but for the most part, I don't know if it's extremely needed. I think for like the most part, you just, you try to get your GX attack off, and then you try to boss into some 2-price Pokemon on the bench, and take 6 prizes, boss game, right? So I don't know if Vitality Bend is extremely like needed in this deck. You have 4 boss and 1 Great Catcher. I think that's totally cool. 4 Research, 2 Marnies. You got 2 Dedenes, 1 Crobat, Eldegoss. Aegislash as well to prep for that Decigoons, which I guess is somewhere right now. We don't see a lot of Decigoons at all here in the top of this, the placements of this tournament, so maybe that's because everyone was running Aegislash. Yeah, 1 Tool Scrapper as well, so I guess the only thing this list is missing is like a reset stamp or something, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, big shout out to, who is it, for Pasqua, for ADP, man. I'm gonna sit here, we can absorb it for a second, just memorize it, take a visual cue, take a snapshot. Appreciate this ADP list. Okay, and then we'll move on. So big shout out to Pasqua, bro. Top 8 with ADP, bro. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Next up, we got a couple of Pikaroms and Ascendant Scorch coming up. We have Waikin from Malaysia. He went 10-4 as well. Let's take a look at the second highest placing Pikarom list in our 200-man tournament. Okay, so this is Energy Denial Peak here. Everything's pretty cool. Everything's pretty standard for Pokemon lineup. We don't see Vigavolt. Yeah. 4 Marnie, 3 Research, 3 Boss, and then we have 2 Yelgron with 4 Hammers. So definitely a focus on that Energy Denial with Wondrous Labyrinth as well. So that's pretty interesting. 10-3 Energy lineup, so pretty standard. 4 Quick Ball, 4 Switch, 2 Stamps. Yeah, okay. 1 Swell, 1 Tag Switch, bro. So bring back the Tag Switch, man. Free Tag Switch. It's a good card in this list. Everybody, when I say that, all my friends, Players Cup 2 champion Zach Lesage, Table Mod on Twitter, dude. Everyone's like, no, like Tag Switch isn't good. But listen, like, I don't know. Maybe just try it out. Maybe just try it. I don't know. I like Tag Switch. 2 E-Radar, 1 Cherish Ball, 2 Air Balloon, Swell, and then that hilarious Wondrous Labyrinth. So, yeah, everything's pretty cool here, pretty standard. I think this is like a very standard, like Energy Hammer Denial Pikarom list here, but we do have 1 Tag Switch, no E-Switch, and then a Wondrous Lab. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this is like completely busted. I don't know. We'll have to test it out. But definitely very cool. Zach Lesage, if you watch this, let me know. What do you think of Wondrous Lab? What do you think of Tag Switch? Tablemon, if you're watching this, what do you think of Tag Switch? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, huge shout out to Waikin, bro. He's an absolute legend. We got 7th in the tournament. Next up, we have the loser himself, Thomas Brophy. He's a terrible player. I'm surprised he even made top 8 here. He almost never places well in these tournaments. Yeah, I think he probably just got lucky. You know what I mean? He's very inconsistent of a player. I think he hardly ever even plays this game. And he definitely doesn't know what he's doing with Centiskorch. So he went 10-3-1 from the U.S. So let's take a look at his terrible list. Okay. In all seriousness, though, Thomas Brophy he's a fantastic player. One of the people that pioneered the modern Centiskorch VMAX list these days online. This is sort of the same kind of particular list that he's been running for a while now and had an incredible amount of top placements with these lists. Of course, a Chill Series admin, somebody part of the Chill Series family, Chill TCG family. He's just, he's a good friend of ours. He's a great player. It's definitely great to have him on board. And he always is a great representation of our organization and our community. So, I have there's no surprise that we see him up here and doing well with this Send to Scorched list. Actually, this reminds me too. If we look here, I just want to show you guys something for matches. So Thomas, because and correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas, but he missed his first 2 games of the tournament because he couldn't be there. Like, he missed his matches because I think he had like basketball practice. And what's actually hilarious is that he played an Orbital and then an ADP in his first 2 games, which are definitely games that he should have or could have won if he were there to play them. Anyway, he lost his first 2 games. So he went 0-2 in his first 2 games of the tournament, and then proceeded to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row. So, so he missed his first 2 rounds and then won 10 in a row, and then ID'd his 11th and made it into cut. Unfortunately, matched up against Inteleon. Maybe, Thomas, if you weren't busy playing basketball and you played these 2 games, you would have, you probably wouldn't have paired up against Inteleon. So, it is what it is, bro. I think if he didn't play this Inteleon, and played something else and then won and then this Inteleon lost, he definitely could have just absolutely taken the tournament by storm. But his run was absolutely ridiculous. His list is classic. It's well refined. It's got a great matchup spread. The Guillotine is nasty. Fion, he's got a Bird Keeper in here, for Christ's sake. No disrespect to anyone religious or anything. Sorry. But yeah, so I mean, his Send to Scorched list is cracked. It's based AF. Okay, so shout out to Thomas. What are we, 26 minutes in? Okay. Next up, we have Vitor Lugan. Vitor Lugan? I don't know. I never know how to say this dude's name. He's from Brazil. 11-3-1, and this is definitely one of the most consistent and most impressively dominant Pikarom players online right now. He got 5th blank peak, and he always does very well with Pikarom. So let's take a look. So this is, yes. Oh, look at this. Look at the tag switch, guys. Where's Tablemon? Where's Tablemon? Everybody tag Tablemon. Everybody who's watching this, bro, like, tweet this video to Tablemon. And be like, yo, look at all these top placing peaks with tag switch. The surprise tag bolt, bro. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, I mean, it's a very standard Pika Hammers list. A lot of people are running 2 Yellgrunts now with 4 Hammers. I think that's totally appropriate. I think 3 Boss is totally fine as well. You're running an Eldegoss, so, like, why not? But yeah, everything else is the same here. I'm trying to just think of the difference between this list and the last Pikarom list we saw. I know he's not running Wonder Lab, but what is he running in... I think he might be running, like, an extra Marnie or Research here? What is he running? That's different. Maybe another... No, I don't know. Might be another E-Radar. I don't know. Something's different here. He's not running Wonder Lab, and he put another card in here somewhere. I don't know exactly what it is. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Vitor Lugan. In my opinion, this is the best Pikarom list to play right now in the meta. Energy Denial is a great thing to focus on. Yes, like, you're flipping some coins. Yes, you're hoping to play, get into your Yell Grunts. But you're playing Tag Switch, so the deck is immediately better. Yeah, I don't know. Big shout out to Vitor Lugan, bro. I talk about you every week. You're always up here doing well. You must be very high on the ranking. So, shout out to Vitor Lugan at number 4. Next up at number 5. At number 4, we have Luke Tran from the U.S. 11-4, and guess what? He's playing Inteleon Frost Moth, baby. Unreal. Let's take a look at this Inteleon list. We hardly ever see Inteleon do well in these tournaments, bro. And it is just, it's just cool to see Inteleon up here and doing well. Now this is a list, of course, that plays 4 Hammers and a Yell Grunt here, so it definitely a focus on Energy Denial while, he's playing Telescopic Sight. It does bench damage, so damage spread is very important in this list. He's got the Frostmoth engine, 3/3 lineup. We have all the good, supporter cards here. We do see 2 Jirachi Amazing Rares, which I guess are a good starting option in this list, but definitely very interesting. Then we have a Mimikyu as well, which I think is good, because, you're spreading damage, so I guess it can help with that Pikarom matchup. Although I guess it's open deckless, so like if you're playing Peak and they see that you're running Mimikyu, they're probably not going to play Mewtwo down on the bench. I don't know. That's just like just something I have in mind, I guess. But he is running a Keldeo to prevent any damage from GX or EX Pokemon. Of course, they do have Bolton, but again, you kind of are forcing them to play the matchup properly, which I guess is very Good. 4 research, 4 Marnie, 2 boss. 4 quick ball, 2 Pokecom, 2 ordinary rod, I guess, for the Snom, Frostmoth, and Mimikyu and stuff like that. 2 great balls as well, so plenty of Pokemon search. 2 capacious bucket to find the energies in your hand, and then an evolution incense, so even more Pokemon search. You can run in the big 4 here. You got quick ball, Pokecom, great ball, and evolution incense. 4 air balloons, so gives all your Pokemon free retreat. I'm pretty sure, yeah, everything has a retreat cost of 2 or less. So 4 air balloon, totally cool. Notice he's not running any switch. He's just running the 4 air balloons, which is actually pretty funny, and I like that. And only 9 water energies as well, but I guess with Capacious Bucket, with Frostmoth, I don't know. I guess that makes total sense. So cool. I mean, this is a very cool Inteleon list. Inteleon is not a bad deck. Water decks have a bit of a, it's difficult, right? I mean, it's difficult when you're playing water when the deck is kind of dominated heavily by Pikarom, or that's a very relevant deck right now in the format. But Pikrom's seeing a bit of a dip in play, so it kind of makes sense that Inteleon made a bit of a comeback. Big shout out to Luke Tran for being our highest placing Inteleon, I think by far. We had one at Clayton Fagan, actually was 24 as well. But yeah, at 4th in the tournament with Inteleon, so definitely super cool. Next up, we're going to take a look at 3, 2, and 1. We have Henrique Jorge, SwissFiaro, and Michelle Babin. These are our top 3 players of the tournament. They are all playing Eternatus, and we're going to take a look and see if there's any difference between them. So next up, we have Henrique Jorge at number 3 from Brazil, 11-3-1, playing Etern. Let's take a look at his Etern list. This is our 4th Etern list we're taking a look at today. So this is the exact same 60 as that last Etern that we looked at. So maybe him and that other dude are, I forget his name, are testing partners? I don't know. But again, keep this in mind. Maybe the one weakness card was clutch. I don't know if Dangerous Drill is super important, and I think that Power Plant could have been clutch, although in the decks that he probably placed in top 8 or faced against in top 8, it wasn't that necessary. But maybe it was clutch in that Inteleon matchup. I don't know. Or the Sanduscorch. Who knows? But yeah. So this is it. Absorb it. Take it in. Big, incredible shout out to Henrique Jorge. I think he's like way up in the Chill Series Season 2 rankings. So again, another phenomenal player. And I think commonly plays Etern as well. So this is just like the last one that we saw. We're not going to spend too much time on it. So next up, let's go and check out SwissFiaro. This is Luca Clavitetcher. I don't know. I cannot see his name. But from the country of Switzerland, SwissFiaro, again, another great player. He was actually our Chill Series Season 1 Invitational Grand Champion. So very cool to see him, making another comeback and having some great runs here in Season 2. Went to finals with this Etern list. Let's see if his, what his Etern list looks like. Oh, no. Spilling water on myself. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. We don't see any hammers, but we see 2 Dangerous Drill here. And we're seeing no Hoopa, 3 Spiritomb, 3 Zigzagoon, and then he's got the Sableye in here as well. So that nasty, nasty Sableye. 2 Power Plants. Okay, so still a lot of people playing Power Plant here. I guess it came very clutch in this tournament. So I guess this is kind of like something to note. So like a lot of the Etern lists here, a lot of the Etern lists that we see here are running Power Plant, so maybe that's something to just keep in mind here for the future. 9 Darkness energies. A lot of them aren't playing 10 energies as well, and a lot of them aren't playing special energies. I know the last 2 I think we saw did, but yeah, I mean, keep that in mind. 4 boss as well, so yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Did you guys like this Etern list? I kind of like it. Personally, I don't know if I really can appreciate running Spiritomb in Etern. I don't know if it's that great. It takes 2 energies. You're probably better off just putting energies on Etern. I don't know. Okay, but if you like Spiritomb and Etern, then make a case for it in the comment section below. But definitely a little bit different of Etern list than we've seen in our last few lists there. So definitely cool to see. Shout out to SwissFiaro. And then we have Michelle Babin. Now, guys, as always, of course, we're not going to dive into this deck list because we're making a separate video on Michelle Babin's championship Chill Series 18 winning Etern list. It's going to be its own video just like it is every week. So we're not going to dive in and take a look at this list. But however, Michelle here from Canada, she got 40 points in this tournament, went 13-2-1. Incredible run playing Etern. We're going to take just a quick sneak peek. Ready? Here it is. Take it in. Take a screenshot. Pause it. Okay, we're out. So anyway, big shout out to Michelle Babin. Her matches were absolutely phenomenal. She had an incredible run. Only lost 1 game, and it was to Luke Metal, so you can't even blame her for that. Then she actually managed to get an ID against Colossal. Oh no, she did lose another one here against Peak here. in phase 2. But yeah, either way, an incredible run for Michelle. She's a great player. She's been slowly moving up the ranks. She got like a top 16 out of Chill Series, got top 4 out of Chill Series, and now she's won a Chill Series. So the improvement has been phenomenal, and her results are really, you can really tell that she's improving heavily, and definitely not somebody that you want to mess with or even run into here in Top Cut. And her list is actually pretty phenomenal, so I'll take a look at that list more in its own video, which I believe will probably go out tomorrow. If you're watching this, it'll be on Sunday on the 31st. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Huge shout out to everybody who played in the tournament. All 16 of you guys, congratulations. Thank you guys so much for playing. I hope you guys enjoyed playing and being on the video. Thank you guys for playing in Chill Series number 18. Chill Series number 19 is coming on Wednesday, so in 4 days from now. 3 days? 4 days from now. So go play in it. I don't have a link to it. It'll be up tomorrow. But anyway, keep your eye out, and I'll make posts everywhere when the link gets posted and the tournament opens for registration. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Again, big shout out to Acast for sponsoring Chill Series 18. Shout out to everybody who made top 16. Shout out to you guys for watching, and shout out to Michelle Babin for winning. So we're out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and the next days, and probably more days after that. Yeah. Peace out.